Mr. Anubhav Dimri, please take a seat. Anubhav, you are from Uttarakhand.
Yes, sir.
But you have been in Delhi for a long time.
Yes, sir. Sir, for graduation I came here.
So you are fully aware of the problems, challenges being faced by Delhi?
Sir, a little bit of.
Do you travel by metro?
Yes, sir.
How do you find it?
Sir, right now? Sir, I think presently in the metro it is connected.
Thoda zor se boliye.
Sir, the metro, I think there is a divide because only the upper classes and the urban, those who are oriented to the urban lifestyle can travel through it, while there is a vast majority who still travel by DTC buses, which are overcrowded. There is connectivity issues. Then I think the positive is that metro has penetrated the city and the connectivity has been strengthened.
Is it running at loss?
Yes, sir. Metro. Last year there was a report that it
because of Corona pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming back to Delhi,
yes,
I would like you to tell us about the challenges and threats being faced by Delhi.
So
supposing you are appointed as the commissioner of MCD, South MCD or whatever,
yes,
what actions will you take on various problems?
Sir, I think the first issue is that of the rent aspect. Most of the
rent.
Yes, sir. The most of the this business is they are not registered properly. The rent agreements are not being made in Delhi, and a vast amount of the revenue is being lost by the Delhi government. Then there are social problems, especially with respect to urbanization. We are seeing that a lot of migrants, especially from Bihar, etc., they not only face discrimination but also low wages. They are
being discriminated against.
Yes, sir. Migrants, there is a caste and class divide with respect to migrants, and also a regional divide. So the slums is a problem.
I was referring to the civic problems.
Yes.
For instance, the unauthorized encroachment on public land.
Yes.
That's a major challenge being faced by Delhi.
Yes.
And there are some instructions issued by the orders issued by the Supreme Court also, but no action is being taken. Traffic is a big problem.
Yes.
So, what will you do?
Sir, we need to have data regarding all of this. We need to use the satellite data because the encroachment, we do not have the earlier pictures and now, because most of it is unregistered. So if we use the technology to see when what was the condition earlier and now, then we can take any action regarding this. Then we also need to reduce the different the bureaucratic hurdles that the slum dwellers face regarding registration of property. With respect to traffic, I feel that we can encourage the public transports more, because the more the vehicles on the road of Delhi, then the pollution is also more. So if we increase the DTC buses and the metro is also the capacity is increased, then the pressure on the road would decrease. The drainage problems also, sir, we can.
You made a statement little while back that people coming from Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand or Bihar, yes, they are not being treated respectfully. Is that
yes,
I got that sense, you know, when
sir, if we
dignity, you know,
so there is
they are being looked down upon. Is it correct?
So they face regional discrimination. For example, the northeast people, they are being called by certain names. The people from Bihar, they are also, sometimes they are discriminated. So this aspect is there in most of the.
So what is your solution as a student of sociology?
Sir, first there would be the awareness, because we need to inculcate the behavioral change in the people of Delhi, that the culture is different. They also need to be treated. The social media needs to be used so that there is a change in the mindset. Problem is also there with respect to the cleanliness aspect, because the people from the rural backgrounds, when they come here, they also garbage, they do these things. So they also need to be made aware that this is a city, the lifestyles are different.
They should be given due respect.
Yes, sir, due respect.
Okay, one last question.
Yes.
Again, since you happen to be from Delhi,
yes,
more or less, Delhi, as per my view, is having these problems due to the existence of multiplicity of authorities. MCD, NCT, one is controlled by Home Ministry, one is NCT government, and all decisions are being taken by the central government in a way, because LG is the final. Don't you think this is something we need to apply our mind to this?
Sir, I think there is a fragmentation of the decision making, but it is very pragmatic, and if we, like the other states, if we put all of these in the state list, then there would be a problem. Delhi is the state capital and the power needs to be with the center, but the solution to this is the coordination between the different let's say center or state. There needs to be engagement between the authorities. Technology needs to be used so that there is a linkage between these aspects, but I think the present structure,
there's always some kind of dispute between various authorities. NCT really is one, then MCD, central government. Something is going on. There is a lot of confusion. Even we don't know who is to look after which service. So, of course, Delhi is the capital. So, should we not have a single unified authority which can be a canopy of all services, civic services? Delhi is Delhi. It's not like Kanpur or Ind. It's the national capital.
So there would be a coordination issue in the end because of the fragmentation. So I think if we improve the coordination, then it would be a right step, then umbrella.
Okay. When is your interview in UPSC?
So in 24 August.
24 August. Thank you.
Anubhav,
yes.
Indian Foreign Service is your first choice.
Right.
At this moment, as in Foreign Service officer, which areas of foreign policy you would like to attend to?
So can you please repeat the last
which areas of Indian foreign policy you would like to attend to in the present circumstances? What will be your priorities?
Sir, my first priority is with respect to the Chinese problem, and we are seeing that the approach towards the Chinese, although there are structural problems, but for example, we need to use the Tibet issue more because of the large asymmetry between India and China. We need to take this issue more. Again, we need to develop on the aspect of the, let's say, the alliances between the democracies like Japan, United States, etc. A second aspect with respect to the Afghanistan issue, and I think we are a little bit late on all of this. The realism demands that we have to engage with Taliban because they are a part of the Afghan society, and the whole region would be affected by this. So India should be more proactive in all of this rather than sending the, let's say, unofficial capacity. A third aspect would be, as our Honorable Prime Minister has emphasized, the maritime security, and this is essentially the Southeast Asian region. This is the region where the trade passes we can also leverage. For example, China is very dominant here. So maritime security would be, I think, a third aspect. So these are the three aspects I would like to attend.
Nothing related to economics and commerce?
Sir, economic and commerce, yes sir, that would also be a priority. But in context of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, then we are seeing more towards the domestic manufacturing industry. So the global value chain would be a second priority, and the first should be the domestic one. So we are also seeing in post-COVID-19 there is an anti-globalization, and every country, even India, is showing signs of it.
Okay, you were mentioning about you will pay attention towards Tibet. What do you have in your mind when you refer to Tibet?
Sir, the asymmetry between China and India is too large militarily and economically. So we have limits over the how we can leverage both economically as well as military. The sensitivity of China is the Tibet issue. China has also raised several times the J&K as well as Arunachal Pradesh. So we need to raise this Tibet issue more, not only bilaterally but also on the multilateral forums with the United States. India is presently the president.
Don't you think that would further escalate the tension between the two countries?
Sir, we have no choice on this because right now China has assertively pushed on all the points of the border. So at last we have no options, just like we are going to the military alliances with the United States. We have to raise this, but we also have to adopt a calibrated approach. If, let's say, for example, China has disengaged from the hot springs, so if such kind of steps are happening, so we should also lower down our tone, but we should raise it more frequently than in the past.
How you will use your knowledge of sociology in foreign policies?
Sir, sociology demands us to be a more to see the world in more gray areas. So in foreign policy, there is a statement that there are no permanent friends and enemies, only permanent national interest. So we need to not right or wrong, but we need to see whether the nations they are adopting a stance towards India, and then we need to change. So there should also be, never close the door. So this is what sociology teaches us. Then objectivity is also an aspect, and we have to be objective in our policies in the sense that we have to take the historical factors in account. The facts, what have been the past, and what should be taken, what approach should be taken.
No. Yes. See, I am asking how you will market India.
Yes.
On the basis of your knowledge of sociology, our system.
Yes.
How you will market it to foreign countries? Yeah, when you will be assigned actually several jobs there.
Yes.
How you will market it?
So the strength of India's society is its culture. And culture is a soft power in foreign policy. So we can.
Yeah, now you are on the right track.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now tell yes.
So, as let's say in embassy, I can use my embassy to hard sell the attributes that India has in the culture, a multi-composite culture. Especially when we are seeing that in United States there is a backlash against the racial minority. In Europe there is a growing backlash against the migrants from the Northern Africa. But in India, such things have been coexisting since a lot of time. So this could be an aspect of soft power. Sociology has also shown about the unique aspect of secularism that India has, and the Western countries they are adopting a separate wall of separation between the religion and state. So we need to encourage, if things go wrong even in the Western society, then
which are the other areas which you can sell, which you can market?
Sir, because sociology is also slowly growing towards the ecological aspects. The tribals, they are affected by ecology, and we are taking some stance on this. The INDCs, etc. They are all affect the social aspects of the, let's say, displacement, migration. So
we should not. We are marketing actually. We are not seeking their help in our problems.
Yes, sir. Sir,
can our family values.
Yes, sir. Sir,
our music.
Yes, sir.
Our different sort of dance.
So yoga can also be.
Yeah, we have actually lot of things to sell it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anubhav,
Yes, sir.
very smart turnout.
Thank you.
You already look like a young diplomat visiting India. Yeah?
Thank you, sir.
You are from Delhi.
Sir, living in Delhi right now.
How many years?
Sir, 5 years.
5 years?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yes, sir.
Your father has been in the army.
Yes, sir. Right.
So you've been moving around.
Yes, sir.
You said Southwest Delhi.
Yes, sir. Southwest.
This is a district?
Yes, sir. Southwest Delhi is a district.
And there is another district called South District?
Yes, sir. Right.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
How many total districts?
Sir, I am not aware of the exact number, but I think it would be around 10 to 13. So
what is the performance of Southwest Delhi MCD, isn't it?
yes.
MCD?
Yes.
What is the MCD?
Sir, it's a municipal body which is mainly.
No, what is the full form of MCD?
Municipal Corporation of, I think. Sir, I'm not
Corporation
aware of Delhi.
Delhi, yes,
Yes.
right, you are right.
Yes.
How it has been doing in local issues, whatever issues it looks after in your area?
Sir, the civic issues, all of these are looked by MCD, be it the transportation, be it the traffic issues, the encroachment. In Delhi, there are a lot of encroachment that we regularly see that there are steps that are taken. Sir, I think I know only about these things.
No, is it doing well, let's say, in traffic issues?
Yes, sir. In Delhi Kent, I have seen a lot of changes that have been taking place. For example, in Dholakua region, there have been construction of flyover in last 2 or 3 years. Before I used to go, it was not there.
That has helped.
Yes, sir. That has helped.
You apparently live in a very crowded area.
Sir, I earlier used to live in army quarters. Now I am living in Nangal.
Nangal Raya.
Yes, sir.
I believe it's a pretty crowded area.
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
How does it look like during the rains?
Sir, there are drainage issues. All the streets. I mean, it's not uniform, but in some areas the water clogging.
Are you happy with the maintenance of drainage and water flowing out fast after the rain?
Sir, I think there needs to be improvement in all of this because the streets get clogged. We have also seen that the buses they jam in those traffic regions. Sir, in my area it's not much, but in some streets it is there.
Okay. I read somewhere Delhi government proposes to put up about 500 flags, high mast flags, at a pretty height, and spending about 50 crores plus, and these would be put up in prominent public places in Delhi.
Yes.
How do you react to this?
Sir, I am not aware of this news, but
No, but I have told you that this is their proposal. I mean, how do you react to it? You approve of this proposal? If you were to, I mean, if your vote is asked on this, would you vote for it or against it?
So they are putting
500 national flags,
okay.
high mast. You understand high mast?
Yes.
High mast,
No, sir.
बहुत ऊंचे, about 1,000 feet,
Okay.
or 500, 700 feet,
Yes.
right? Now it's clear to you that they are proposing
yes,
to
sir.
put
Flags.
about 500 different
Flag.
places, prominent public places.
Yes.
How do you react to this proposal? Do you approve of it?
Yes, sir, I approve. Sir, I think this is a very welcome step because if we are seeing what is happening in Delhi since past few years, there are some anti-national activities. The students they get polarized, and I mean this is all because of lack of awareness of the values regarding the nationalism, and national flag is a symbol of the national pride. So if we are using, because nationalism gets manifested only because due to these symbols, there was
okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. You were talking just now to our colleague here on Tibet.
Yes.
Yeah, Tibet has a government in exile.
Yes.
What is a government in exile?
Sir, in 50s there was a persecution from China by of the right-hand Buddhist leader, and Dalai Lama was one of them who came here. It was it was said to be the government that was existing at that time in Tibet, and it came here because to flee the persecution.
No, that's fine. That's the background.
Yes, sir.
But what is a government in exile?
A government which has fled due to the some internal issues, and right now it is working socially, culturally from India towards its members, but it is not sovereign. The sovereignty lies with
From
China.
which part of India?
Sir, I think it's in, not sure, but Haryana.
Haryana?
The headquarters are in, I think, Haryana.
Achha, no, they are in Dharamshala, McLeod.
Dharamshala, yes.
Upper Dharamshala. But what I am asking is this government controlling the affairs inside Tibet?
Sir, it's just a nominal government.
Or they are looking after themselves, I mean the people, the refugees who have come here. What is the main role of a government in exile?
So its main role is to continue the spirit of the nation state that it espouses. For example, the Tibetans have a distinct culture, a background, and this government attempts to keep that spirit alive. Let's say if there is tomorrow there is a uprising in the Tibet, then this is
well said. It keeps that spirit alive. But how does it look like, a government in exile? How does it look like?
Sir,
it's a regular government?
Sir, it's
different ministries and departments?
Sir, it has an organization, but I'm not sure of how it works. It has an organization.
Okay,
Some
thank you.
Yes.
Anubhav, on the topic of Tibet,
Yes.
earlier you said that national interest is the high priority area for India now. The current policy guidelines which we follow is that a national interest is uppermost.
Yes.
So do you think the policy of supporting Tibet
Yes.
is irking China, especially because the Prime Minister made it a point this time to wish the Dalai Lama on his birthday and he made it public?
Yes. This is the main point of raising the issue of Tibet, that China's sensitivity could be exploited, because the more we raise the Tibet issue in UNSC, etc., then it would affect China more, just like we have used the digital strikes. So it affects China a little bit. Militarily and economically, it doesn't matter much with respect to China. So that's why I think that raising Tibet issue again and again, it would create let's say a fear in China's mind that this issue could take new turns in the future. When we raise this issue with the United States or Japan, then there could be something in the future.
Or we are irritating a powerful enemy. Do you think we are further irritating or irking a very powerful enemy, a neighbor?
And if things go in that way, that China, let's say,
Look at Doklam.
yes,
Look at Ladakh.
Yes.
So on both the fronts, do we need to open more fronts?
I mean, it's just a strategic policy, because we need to do something in all of this. There are limitations to other things. We can, for example, raising the human rights issues in Xinjiang, although it would lead to some irritants in the relations, but we have to do this calibratedly.
Before we go to the Xinjiang region, which you have mentioned,
Yeah.
in the Doklam issue, was Bhutan supporting us, or we were fighting their battle to our advantage?
It was basically in India's interest to stop China from constructing in the Doklam. But I think Bhutan, it has to confirm to India, because there are no official relations between India and Bhutan also knows that it has much to.
They have established relations now. They already have.
China and Bhutan.
And Bhutan said that at one point of time, do you think, are you aware of the fact that Bhutan had conceded the Doklam area to China? It was only on India's insistence and intervention.
When China claims that territory and it has physical possession, but the area, Bhutan claims to its territory, and India also supports Bhutan, but the possession is with, I think, China.
Okay, we'll come to the Xinjiang region which you mentioned.
Yes.
What is the core issue there, and why is China worried about that issue? Human right violation, if there are, what does China apprehend?
The main issue in Xinjiang is that China fears that the inhabitants of that region could radicalize by the Islamic ideology, and China is one of the only countries in the world whose basic strategy is to destroy the whole religion and the culture.
Why do they fear this?
Because of the Islamic radicalization and the past experience.
Why would they be radicalized?
There are, for example, the Afghanistan is very near to that. The Pakistan also, it has LET and those militants there, and there is also a vast economic inequality there. So there are unemployed people.
Can you say anything about the ethnicity of the Uyghurs?
They are Uyghurs. Yes, ma'am.
What is their origin?
They have much to take with the Central Asian region.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
They are known to be of Turkic origin.
Yes.
And we have that region is bordering 8 countries, including India.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what should be India's stand on that region?
Ma'am, I think India is raising right now, but we should also push more on the human rights issue in the Xinjiang. In the UNSC presidency, we have to take this issue, and with the changing dynamics of the Afghanistan region, then it is also in the interest of China to be more accommodative for their minorities, because they will now be more prone to radicalization. So India's stand should be not only they're raising human rights, but also seeing it from the point of strategic policy.
Okay, one last question on Afghanistan.
Yes.
Should we be having diplomatic ties with a state which has extremists at the helm? Do we have diplomatic ties with North Korea?
No, ma'am, there is no embassy.
So, similarly, some other countries.
Yes.
So, if God forbid that extreme organization takes over, should we have diplomatic ties?
Yes, ma'am. We should have diplomatic ties.
Which would mean we are recognizing them.
We have to recognize them, Taliban. I mean, the reality is that they would the civil war would take place, the Afghan government would fall, and Taliban would be the players of this region. If we have much to lose if we do not recognize them, but there might be that if we recognize them, we do not gain much. So we have to communicate with them. We have to open embassies with them, because otherwise the losses are more. Pakistan would have a deep state in that region. There are strategic assets, and Pakistan is Afghanistan has also shown that it is more focusing towards geoeconomics. Ultimately, it has to survive, then it has to look for the trade and the peace. So India's interest lies in only engaging with the Taliban. We can be slow, but we have to be engaging with it in the future. With respect to North Korea, there is nothing we have to gain.
We are far off from
yes,
them.
ma'am.
Okay. So does it mean it is a very heavy failure of the international community?
Yes, ma'am. International community has failed. Specifically US, the way it has vacated Afghanistan, and
in the middle of the night.
Yes, ma'am, in the middle of the night without even telling the commander. It has lost just like it lost in Vietnam. But the way forward lies in managing the situation. I'm also optimistic that this had to take place now or in the future, and it is a good news that it has happened now. Now the role of the diplomacy lies in managing the whole situation, encouraging Taliban to drop its stance, encouraging it in the intra-Afghan talks. But I think we have to build on all of this.
And how do you view the NATO role?
NATO
forces?
NATO has withdrawn most of the forces, and I think that
No, I'm not saying withdrawing forces or still stationing a few forces there. How do you perceive them?
I think that this is a South Asian region, and they have a cultural affinity, all of the interest. So NATO should keep away from this because of their interest, their national interest, and their interests are very different from the interest of the region. They have invaded many countries in the past.
So given an opportunity as a diplomat, will you be able to tell the US and the NATO that they need to keep away from all this?
Yes, ma'am.
You will be able to say that?
I will encourage. I mean, they have now they have not much interest in the Afghanistan, and I would encourage them not to. Focus on the East Asia itself, because China is a growing power there. So you have already lost the Afghanistan. Now you manage the East Asia because
you've destroyed Pakistan.
Yes, ma'am. Pakistan.
Huh?
Yes,
okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Anubhav, can we do some exchange of views with a small observation, which I expect of you?
Yes, sir.
You bring in too many points and without much coherence.
Yes. Okay.
And you speak without formulating your response adequately. So during the next 4 minutes, there will be very few questions. Take a pause, formulate your reply, and then give it.
Oh, okay.
Done?
Thank you.
Okay. If you have to describe India, because India is multicultural, is it an example of melting pot or a salad bowl? Sociologically speaking.
Sir, I feel that there could be no uniformity as such in the whole Indian society itself. There are some regions which are following the melting pot, most of the regions, but there are also some which are very distinct community living without exchange of any socio-cultural attributes.
What is a melting pot?
Melting pot means that there are multiple ethnicities, culture, religion that are coming together, and they are losing their identity and then forming a new identity which has elements of all of these things.
Can you give example of melting pot?
Yes, sir.
Internationally?
Sir, with respect to other countries?
Which country?
Sir, I think India is only the best example of melting pot culture. We are seeing that, for instance, there was a recent report by Pew Research which said that
it doesn't call it melting pot.
Sir, but there are some points. For example, between Hinduism and Islam, there have been certain things that have been exchanged.
That is there.
Yes.
So that is more like a salad bowl, because what is salad bowl format?
There are multiple communities living in harmony, but
Right.
each having its own
There
identity.
is distinct.
Right.
So India is salad bowl example or a melting pot? Melting pot is USA.
Yes, sir. Right.
Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And India is
Salad. More like salad.
on a continuum.
Yes, sir.
You understand what is a
Yes, sir.
continuum?
Continue from 0 to 100. Then
Yeah.
it's more.
Both extremes, and those are two ideal types, sociologically speaking.
Yes, sir.
So India is somewhere more on the
Salad.
salad bowl.
Yes.
Okay. Now you said that you are laying too much of emphasis on raking up the Tibet issue. Are you aware that Tibet was the main cause, or shall we say provocation, that the 1962 took place? What is your view on that? Have you studied the factors, the foundation of this conflict with China? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you need to study it more. We analysts say that Tibet was a vexatious issue which should have been tackled in a different manner. Have you read John Garver, India, The Protracted Struggle?
No, sir.
No. And Maxwell, India's China War?
No, sir.
Just go through their gist, what they have to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
Because since you have opted for foreign service as the first choice, international affairs will be a major area on which question can be asked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Achha, your mock interview is over. Kindly wait outside for 2 minutes. We'll
Thank
give you
you.
the feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.